Damn Anime, back at it again, pissing off the liberals. What is up, YouTube? It's RSMario here, bringing you another anime first impressions video, and this time I'm going to do a first impression on 2019's version of Goblin Slayer, that is Rise of the Shield Hero. So, Rise of the Shield Hero follows Nufumi, I believe is how you say his name. I cannot remember how you say his name. Naofumi. I was close. So this follows Naofumi, and this is basically an isekai. It's an isekai show where four guys from four different versions of Japan are brought to a fantasy world to embark on an adventure with four mystical items to save the world from a wave of evil monsters, which is pretty much your basic fantasy video game isekai anime, which isn't a bad thing because I love isekai. Well, I love fantasy. I'm not a huge fan of isekai. Cell Phone Jesus kind of killed that for me. But yeah, this one kind of brings isekai back. If that time I was reincarnated as a slime didn't bring back isekai for you, then this show probably will. Because honestly, to me, it's one of the best looking isekai shows. Like, I just like the look of this show. Even to like the video game like skill tree menu thing he has. But basically, Naofumi is one of the four guys brought from one of the various different versions of Japan. I believe his version of Japan is technically our version of the real life version of Japan, because everything seems normal in his version. And he is brought to this fantasy world to help them, and he is made the Shield Hero. So this one right here is pretty interesting, because of course there's a controversy, because I mean it's America and politics, so everything's a controversy. So there's a controversy going on with this one because he is basically, okay, so how can I explain this? Basically, there's a woman in the show who kind of sort of debates him into thinking that they're going to go on an adventure together and that she's going to help him and follow him. But actually, she robs him and then lies and says that he had his way with her. And, you know, basically he gets ostracized for it, you know, and almost executed, but ostracized for it. And a lot of people are saying this is in some way making light of the Me Too movement or making light of sexual assault claims, which, I mean, it isn't. I mean, because these things do actually happen. They don't happen very often, but they do. And when they do happen, it's very hard to prove. So they do happen. But the other thing you have to think about is this is made for a Japanese audience. So they don't really care about the American politics, because this, I mean, it's a thing in Japan, but it's not as big a thing as it is here in America. Like, I mean, there's no Me Too movement going on in Japan, you know, because, I mean, there's just not. So they don't have that problem. So they don't, you know, this making a show like this wouldn't be controversial for them. It would be for us, though. But yeah, that's the controversy along with that. I'm not really going to say much else on that, but the show itself looks really good. Again, another banger OP for this season. That's 3 so far with Durororo, which I've been playing like crazy to get ready to film these videos. But yeah, man, like, this show is pretty interesting. It does get a watch from me, mainly because I mean I'm into fantasy, and I was gonna give this a follow originally. But after watching the first episode and watching episode 2, I think this is it's gonna be a fantasy show, but it's not gonna be your run-of-the-mill fantasy show. Because with Goblin Slayer, while it was good, it kind of bait and switched. So it was like, oh, it's a dark fantasy, and people are getting like, you know, like gangbanged by like goblins and stuff, and then it turns into kind of like a regular fantasy show, which isn't bad by any means, but it's not what you advertised in the first episode. But this show, I think, is going to be a little bit different. It's going to start off as an isekai, and it's going to go into some more deeper themes. Like, his decisions matter. He's kind of an anti-hero, because at this point, like, he's like, screw you people. Like, I'm going to do my job and save the world, but I'm not going to do it for you. I'm going to do it because that's what I'm supposed to do. He's an anti-hero. And I think that's pretty interesting. So this show definitely gets a watch. I'll say one thing that does get me, though, is it seems like this show was kind of set up for this. And it doesn't feel like the big turn doesn't exactly feel natural. Because like from the jump when he's brought through, they treat him like a dick. Like seriously, like the king, like the king has, you know, he talks to everybody with all these introductions and stuff, and he totally ignores my dude Naofumi. Like people are treating him like a dick from the jump. So it's kind of like, really, like what did he do? Like was the previous Shield hero like an idiot? Because in the first episode they explain, at least the main four. They kind of explain why Naofumi, you know, is kind of clueless compared to the others. But this is after they've already treated him horribly anyway. So it doesn't really match up. Like, I can understand if, like, because they have a conversation talking about